This video is about dominance in terms of matrices. So this is just reading from the textbook. So dominance is talking about one person or one team beating another person or another team in some sort of competition. So this is the type of thing you might see. This is a network. It's a directed network where you have five teams or people. In this case, they're people: Anna, Birgit, Kaz, Di, and Emma. And an arrow indicates that the team that the arrow is coming from, or the player that the arrow is coming from, beat the player that the arrow is going to. So this arrow here indicates that B was dominant over A. So B was dominant over A. So in this competition, it's a round robin tournament. Every player plays the other one once. So there's one arrow connecting every combination of letters. So what we can do with this is we can place it in a matrix. So what we can look for is a one-step dominance. A one-step dominance. So this indicates teams beating another team directly. So a 1 in the matrix indicates a dominance over the other team. So B beats A. So there should be B to A should be a 1. So the rows often indicate, the most common way to do it is with the rows. So you go, this team beats, so obviously A beats C and D. Let's confirm. A beats C and D. Yes, that's confirmed. So this matrix here indicates all the wins from this network. So our first goal is to create a matrix from a network like this. So that's what they've done here. Now these are called one-step dominances. So this indicates direct links between one point and another. So what we can then do is look for two-step dominances. Now two-step dominances are where a team beats another team, who then that team beats another team. So we could say B has a two-step dominance over C via A. So B to A to C means that B has a two-step dominance over C. So that's what a two-step dominance is. It's where there's two edges joining 2 points. So B and C are joined by two edges going through A. So we can see this first edge from B to C. That means that B has a one-step dominance over C, but it also has a two-step dominance over C through A. It also has a two-step dominance over C through E. So B, E, then C. So if we have a look at the two-step dominance matrix, B has two-step dominances over C. And looking for two-step dominances is quite tricky because there's quite a lot of them. If you have a look at B, for example, B has a two-step dominance over D through A. It also has a two-step dominance over D through E. And it also has a two-step dominance over D through C. So there's actually three two-step dominances between B and D. So they're quite tricky to find. It's not an easy thing to do. But luckily, we can just put it in the calculator and square it. So once we've got this first matrix, which this is called D, we can just square it to get the two-step dominances. So squaring the one-step dominance matrix gives you the two-step dominance matrix. So you don't actually have to go through and look for the two-step dominances. We can just square it. Now, the last thing to do is find the total dominance. Now, total dominance is a combination of one-step dominance and two-step dominances. So you simply add the two matrices as indicated here. So T representing total dominance is the one-step dominance plus the two-step dominances. So D plus D squared, this matrix here, plus this matrix here, gives us the total dominance scores. Now the sum of each row will give the total dominance scores of each team. So you can see here that B is clearly the overall winner of this tournament, followed closely by E. if we have a look at just the one-step dominances, B and E actually have the same amount of one-step dominances. So just looking at which team beat which team doesn't give us a clear winner. It's not until you add in or factor in the two-step dominances that the clear winner is recognized. So whenever you're asked about dominance, you need to find the first step dominance. That's that matrix, then square it to get the two-step dominances, and then add the two results to get the total dominance. That's where we get our total ranking. If we have a look at a question from an exam, this is 2017 VCAA Further Maths Exam 1, and it's question 5. 4 teams A, B, C, D compete in a round-robin competition where each team played each of the other teams once. There were no draws. The results are shown in the matrix below. Now, clearly this matrix is not finished. We've got F, G, and H that are not put in. It explains what the 1 means, which we know, and it's the rows. So a 1 in row 2 shows that Team B defeated Team A. So that's this one here. Team B defeated Team A. So what I'd suggest you do is pause this video and complete this question and then come back to see the result. So what we're after here is the values of F, G, and H. So this is a little bit different to just finding the dominance, then squaring it, then adding them. It's just using a bit of our knowledge of what to do here. So let's start with F. F is, did A beat C? So the only two options here, because these matrices first step dominances in round robin competitions are always binary. So did A beat C? If A beat C, then F would be a 1. But if C beat A, then this here would be a 0 because A didn't beat C. And the way to determine that is to see this number here where C and A connect here. So this one indicates that C beat A. So therefore, A didn't beat C because they only played each other once, and if C beat A couldn't have beaten C. So this F must be a 0. So that means that only A and B are options. So if we have a look at A and B, they've both got G as 1, so we won't test G. Let's test H. So H is where D combines with D. Now D doesn't play D. You can't play yourself in a tournament. So therefore H has to be a 0, and you'll see the leading diagonal in dominance matrices will always be 0 because players can't play themselves. So therefore F is 0, G is 1, H is 0, which means the answer has to be A. So thing to remember with dominance is that zeros and ones are important. A 0 means that the row team did not beat the column team, and 1 indicates that they did beat them. You can then find that matrix, then square it to get the two-step dominance, then add them to get the total dominance. Now you will come across questions, very rarely, but they do happen, where the matrix, it asks you to set the matrix up the other way so that columns indicate dominance. It's very rare, and I don't know why they do it, but sometimes you'll get questions that do that. I've never seen it in a VCAA exam or SAC, but you do get it occasionally in other organizations' questions. If that's the case, set it up that way, and then you can transpose it to change it to the way we need it to be. So when you're dealing with it on the calculator, if you want to square it, you have to have it set up this way, that the rows indicates the dominance. But if it asks for the other way, you can just transpose it and then deal with it on the calculator and then transpose it back. And if you come across questions like that, give them a go, and if you need help, check with your teacher.